59% of self-identified liberals say there have been times when they considered leaving America for good, like after NBC canceled The West Wing. I don't get it. You want so badly for every immigrant to come to this country and experience the good life, but somehow it's so terrible you want to leave? And have you ever seen the Eurovision Song Contest? They actually listen to that crap. Look, everywhere in the world, I'm sure, seems great when you haven't lived there. I hear people tell me Costa Rica is beautiful. I'm sure it is. You'll also get bitten by a snake on the flight over. The travel site Lonely Planet describes Sri Lanka as endless beaches, timeless ruins, welcoming people. And if you love child marriage, food shortages, and the strictest abortion laws in the world, Sri Lanka.
Let's start with a simple question. If America is really such a terrible place, why is half the world still trying to get in? And if it's as hopeless as some liberals claim, why are those same people demanding more immigrants be allowed here? That contradiction always makes me laugh. On one hand, they paint America as some oppressive dystopia. On the other, they want open borders and shout, "Come on and experience this disaster with us." You can't have it both ways. Either it's the land of opportunity or it's not. And the millions of people risking everything to come here already know the truth. Here's where it gets funny. About 59% of self-identified liberals admit they've thought about leaving America for good. Not because of war or famine, but sometimes because NBC canceled The West Wing. Seriously? That's your breaking point? Forget crime, inflation, or global instability. Apparently a canceled TV show is enough to make you flee. If that's the case, maybe you don't need a new country, maybe you just need a new Netflix show. And of course, the celebrity crowd started this trend. Remember when Trump got elected? Suddenly every Hollywood star and their yoga instructor swore they were moving to Canada. Spoiler alert, they never do. They post emotional tweets, cry on award stages, and then stay right here. Because deep down, they know they've got it better than anywhere else. But it's not just celebrities anymore now, even politicians are getting in on the act. A recent viral video showed a woman running for state representative in New Hampshire saying she wants to leave the very country she's trying to represent.
For office, you'd want to live in the country you're supposed to represent, right? Wrong. She actually posted a video asking, "Is there a place we can move that people would be happy to have?"
She said, "We're not gentrifying or colonizing. I need to get the hell out of this country." Just think about that for a moment. She wants to represent America in government while openly talking about how badly she wants to leave it.
If you run for office in America, you have to want to live here. I bring this up because there was a video that made the rounds recently by a woman who said she was a proud progressive and was running for state representative in New Hampshire, and yet posted this.
Is there a place we can move that people would be happy to have us, that we're not gentrifying or colonizing? I don't want to be a problem, but I need to get the fuck out of this country.
The fuck out of this country? The one you want to be elected to a leadership position in?
That's not just confusing, it's insulting. What's her campaign slogan supposed to be? Vote for me because I hate it?
Again, I'm confused by this political message, vote for me because I hate it here. Now, does America have real problems? Of course. I've talked about the America sucks list before, and let's be honest, no one's claiming this country is perfect. We've got serious issues in healthcare, education, and representation, you name it. But here's the key difference. Admitting there are problems doesn't mean you walk away. If you actually want change, you don't give up and run off. You stay, you fight, and you work to make things better. That's what real leadership is about. Running away is cowardice, plain and simple. Yet that's the attitude we see everywhere now. Too many people would rather dream about some perfect place far away than deal with.
America have big problems? Yes, I've often cited the America sucks list. Things like being 54th in the world in infant mortality behind Cuba, 19th in literacy behind Russia, 72nd in female representation in government behind Iraq. A lot of work to do here. And is it possible for a country to lose itself so much that leaving it is justified? Yes, but we're not there yet, not by a long shot, and we don't need quitters. We need people who will stay.
They say, oh, Costa Rica is beautiful. Sri Lanka is magical. Europe is so advanced. Sure, Costa Rica has gorgeous beaches, but you might get bitten by a snake before your plane even lands. Sri Lanka might look picture perfect in travel brochures, but it also faces food shortages, strict abortion laws, and child marriage. That doesn't exactly sound like the paradise those glossy magazines.
Have you ever seen the Eurovision Song Contest? They actually listen to that crap. Look, everywhere in the world, I'm sure, seems great when you haven't lived there. I hear people tell me Costa Rica is beautiful. I'm sure it is. You'll also get bitten by a snake on the flight over. The travel site Lonely Planet describes Sri Lanka as endless beaches, timeless ruins, welcoming people. And if you love child marriage, food shortages, and the strictest abortion laws in the world, Sri Lanka could be right for you.
And Europe, don't even get me started. People look at it through rose-colored glasses because Instagram makes it seem like one endless cobblestone photo shoot. They dream of sipping coffee in Paris, buying a $1 villa in Italy, or strolling through Amsterdam's canals. But here's the reality check: the food can be overrated, the weather depressing, and the laws downright bizarre.
For your exile, you do wind up in some comparatively luxurious place like Canada or Japan or the UK. Not that they want you. At best, you'll be trading a bunch of stuff you hate about this country for a bunch of stuff you'll soon hate about your new home. It took me only 4 days in Amsterdam to learn that while I admire Amsterdam, I don't want to live there. The buildings are cramped and shaped like needles. The food is awful. The TV's in a different language. It's wet and cold. The people are polite but cold, and they do a bunch of weird shit. The explanation for, according to my friend, was just remember they're high.
Spend a few weeks there, and suddenly it's not so charming. It's crowded, it's expensive, and guess what? People there have problems too, and big ones. Take the UK, for example. Their equality laws are so broad that you can sue a company for discrimination even if they weren't hiring. In Scotland, they tried to let 16-year-olds legally change their gender just by filling out a form no diagnosis required. Sweden passed a similar law, and Germany and Spain are moving the same way. So while some Americans think they're escaping wokeness, they might actually be running straight into even more of it overseas. So much for paradise. And those famous $1 houses in Italy? Good luck with that. They're not homes the way we picture them. They're ancient ruins with no plumbing, no roof, and walls that could crumble if you sneeze too hard. By the time you've spent $100,000 fixing one up, you'll be broke and still dealing with Italian bureaucracy.
Great expat destinations because of all those stories on CNN about how you can buy a house in a quaint Italian village for $1. Except it's not a house in the way we think of one, as a structure with plumbing and electricity and a roof. When these places were built, the Leaning Tower of Pisa was still straight. Sure, you can spend $100,000 to make them livable, and I'm sure it's no problem to find reliable workmen in rural Italy who you'll then fall in love with, like in Under the Tuscan Sun,
But let's take a step back for a moment. The real irony is that people complain about how oppressive America is while ignoring how the rest of the world actually works. In countries like Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, and Sudan, they still cut off the hands of thieves. In many places, protesters are shot or jailed just for speaking out. In some nations, even posting something critical of the government on social media can get you arrested. And yet, liberals here act like America is a dictatorship just because their favorite app didn't update on.
Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, and Sudan still cut the hands off of thieves, so if you're coming from San Francisco, do your shoplifting at home. And you might also want to do your protesting before you go, because protesters are routinely shot in lots of places. Gosh, it almost seems like the world is full of suffering, intolerance, and oppression on a scale we can't imagine. But that can't be true, because if it was, we'd be protesting it. It must only happen in Israel.
Give me a break. The truth is, America still gives people freedoms most of the world can only dream about: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to protest without fearing execution, and the chance to build a life, chase success, and yes, even complain about the country without being thrown in jail. That's something people risk their lives every single day.
59% of self-identified liberals say there have been times when they considered leaving America for good, like after NBC canceled The West Wing. I don't get it. You want so badly for every immigrant to come to this country and experience the good life, but somehow it's so terrible you want to leave?
Meanwhile, some Americans act like they've been dealt the worst hand in the world, when in reality, they've hit the jackpot. Here's something to think about: if America is truly such a terrible place, why does every so-called utopia liberals dream of come with its own list of problems just as bad, if not worse? Canada has sky-high taxes and healthcare wait times that can last for months. The UK struggles with knife crime, non-stop surveillance, and a monarchy that still costs taxpayers millions. Japan might be stunning, but it's also cramped, expensive, and known for overwork and loneliness. Every country has issues. The difference is that America gives you the freedom to fix them instead of forcing you to live with them. But here's the real point. The fantasy of leaving America isn't really about leaving, it's about complaining. It's just a dramatic way of saying, I don't like how things are going, and while venting might feel good for a moment, it doesn't change anything. If you want real progress, you don't pack your bags.
The problem isn't that America isn't worth defending. Maybe the problem is that lots of people today are entitled whiners who have no perspective and no idea how good they have it.
The truth is, too many people today have lost perspective. They don't realize how good they actually have it. They take America's freedom, safety, and prosperity for granted while pretending life somewhere else is automatically better. But when you look past the postcards and Instagram reels, you see the real picture. Every country has problems, and most are worse than ours. So the next time someone says they're ready to leave America, maybe the answer isn't to hand them a one-way ticket. Maybe it's to remind them why this country is worth staying for. Because America isn't perfect, but it's still the freest and most opportunity-filled nation on earth. And instead of complaining, maybe it's time we all did our part to make it even better. So let me leave you with this question. What's tougher, running away from problems or staying to fix them? History is built by those who stay, who fight, and who believe their country is worth the effort. And if you ask me, America absolutely is. And hey, if you've made it this far, don't run away now. Hit that like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and drop a comment below. Tell me, if you could move anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? I'm genuinely curious. But more importantly, would you really trade your freedoms here for the illusion of paradise somewhere else? Think about